A successful soldier, a revolutionary statesman, a genius of wars. He gifted us an independent country and freedom. In his lifetime, he was always busy with the country's problems. He always looked older than his age. If anyone were Atatürk, they would probably choose to leave the country and enjoy their life. In this video, we are going to see how Atatürk became Atatürk, some interesting facts about him, and his principles.
Atatürk was born in Salonika in 1881. He started his education life at Şemsi Efendi School and completed it in a military academy as a staff commander. His soldiering life started in Sham 1905. In 1911, he served against the Italians in Libya and then in the Balkan Wars. On the 19th of May 1919, Atatürk began a nationalist revolution in Samsun. It was an independence war. After the victory of Independence War in 1921, Atatürk established a provisional government in Ankara. The following year, the Ottoman Sultanate was formally abolished, and in 1923, Turkey became a secular republic with Atatürk as its president. In 1925, when surnames were introduced in Turkey, he was given the name Atatürk, meaning father of the Turks. He died on 10 November 1938. There are 6 main principles of Atatürk. The first of them is republicanism. Republicanism means the presence of the republic in the state administration. There are some examples of the revolutions that are made about republicanism. One of them is that on the 23rd April 1920, the Grand National Assembly of Turkey opened. One other example is the removal of the Sultanate. Also, the removal of the Caliphate would be an example of republicanism. The second is nationalism. Nationalism is an idea and movement that holds that the nation should be congruent with the state. Creation of Turkish language society, Turkish historical society, and acceptance of cabotage law can be some examples. The third is populism. The principle of populism, first of all, is aimed at the realization and establishment of a progressive, Western democracy, which means the administration of the people, by the people, for the people. Acceptance of civil law, removal of tithes, and later revolution can be examples of it.
Fourth is secularism. Secularism means that the state doesn't discriminate on the basis of beliefs in its relations with its citizens, especially the dominant belief in a society. Removal of Sultanate and Halifelik can be examples of it. Fifth is statism. The principle of statism in Turkey is moderate statism, as Atatürk called it. According to the moderate statism, although the Kemalist economy is based on the free market and the individual, the state can take over the places that the free market cannot or does not want to enter. But the state should never get ahead of the individual. Creation of Etibank and Smerbank can be examples of it. Sixth and last principle is reformism. According to the reformism, the changes in the nation should be slowly and the changes should come through with reforms. The first of the interesting facts about Atatürk is that Atatürk does not like to gamble and sometimes plays poker to beans with his friends. The second interesting fact is that Atatürk always carries his favorite book Çalı Kuşu, written by Reşat Nuri Gültekin. One of the most interesting features of Atatürk as a person who fought with the enemy on the fronts was that he got worse when he saw blood outside of the battlefields. The fourth interesting fact is that Atatürk does not like to have breakfast at all, and as soon as he gets up, he sits on the other sofa in his room and drinks the first coffee and cigarette of the day. Another interesting feature of Atatürk is that he never shaves himself. Another fact is that Atatürk, as a symmetry maniac, could not get comfortable without straightening the crooked furniture in his home, even in the surrounding areas, even in the houses where he was a guest. The seventh interesting fact is that Atatürk is the only leader in the world with the title of head teacher. The eighth interesting fact is that his weight, which was 76 until the end of his life, dropped to 46 with the progression of his disease. And some interesting information about Atatürk: if his life was enough, it was his biggest dream to go on a world tour and expand his studies on Turkish language and history.